We be live. Hi, everyone. Make sure you like the stream. How's my audio? Shalom, shalom, everyone. Guys, make sure you like the stream. It's important that you like the stream so that this channel grows and more people end up seeing this show because we have a lot to get to. There are some new developments regarding what Trump said regarding the negotiation. This is very important. The topic here is very important. I don't know if you guys understand the significance of this. We're talking about whether the Middle East is going to enter a war greater than we have seen since World War II, or we're going to go in a different direction. This is basically that. That's what we're talking about. So the negotiations between Trump and the Iranian regime, we have a lot of new updates. Trump claims that the Iranian regime has basically submitted. Guys, how's everything? Make sure you like the stream. Wow, thank you. Oh, by the way, thank you, Amir. Amir from Israel is highlighting the comments. Thank you so much. And I see Wolf just became a member. Thank you so much, Wolf, for becoming a member. Guys, memberships and super chats really help the channel grow. So thank you for all. I will be reading super chats throughout the show. Yes, thank you. Amir is reminding me to read this again. Amir, thank you so much for being here, guys. Your comments will be part of the show, so keep the comments coming. Amir will highlight them, and if there are any super chats, I will read them out. All right, so I will first go through exactly what happened, give you a quick summary of what's the new update, and I will show some opinions. I have Emily, some posts by Emily Schrader that I want to share with you guys because the more I follow her, the more I realize how much in line her view with this channel is. Like, I really like her analysis on almost everything. And also Wolf by the way, Wolf just gifted membership to somebody else in the chat. Thank you so much, Wolf, for doing that. All right, let's just get into it. I'll let you know what happened. And then, okay, so Trump is saying that Iran has sort of agreed to nuclear deal terms. He actually used the word sort of. I will play that for you so you guys actually could hear it, and also Emily's response to that. So what happened during a speech in Doha on May 15th, Trump claimed that Iran had sort of agreed. By the way, when he says Iran, he means the regime. I'm just reading it as as he said it. Okay, so I know I'm being nitpicky, but on this channel we separate Iran from the Islamic Republic because there are two. It's the Iranian regime is not Iran. Iran has been taken hostage by the Islamic Republic, which is the regime, right? So Trump claimed that Iran had sort of agreed to U.S. terms for a new nuclear deal. So he's acting, Trump is like kind of like acting that this whole thing is over, like it's done, like we figured it out. So what does he mean? He was referring to an informal talks happening between U.S. and Iranian negotiators. Iran has shown interest in a deal where they would. Okay, so let me actually go over the things that Trump has said that they agreed to. Like, it seems like they're suggesting they agreed to. The key thing, people who have been following our streams know exactly what I'm going to be talking about. But for people who might be new here or haven't been following this detail, the main thing that we need to pay attention to is whether the agreement between Trump and the Iranian regime is going to allow the Iranian regime to do enrichment of uranium by itself at a percentage below 5%, or are they going to want the enrichment of uranium to be completely dismantled? And if Iranian regime wants to have basically uranium nuclear energy, it has to get its enrichment uranium from somewhere else. So basically in both situations, Iran will continue to have nuclear energy. But in one case, in case A, it will be able to enrich uranium itself under 5% for energy reasons. If it's under 5%, it cannot be used for nuclear reasons. But a lot of people say that if you allow the Iranian regime to do enrichment of uranium under 5%, the problem with that is that they could basically increase it back to 60% or 90% anytime they want, and you need basically 90% or 60% to be able to use it for nuclear weapons. So that is not good enough. They call that a JCPOA version 2, or basically another version of the Obama deal. That's why a lot of people, including me, don't like that. But the other version, which is going to be what they call the Libyan model, is no, you don't get to enrich uranium at all. You get to have nuclear energy, but you have to import the enriched uranium from somewhere else. So what is Trump suggesting is that it seems like they're coming to an agreement, unfortunately, to have enrichment of uranium at low levels. The middle ground between these two that it seems they're moving towards to, which is the JCPOA Obama model and the Libyan model. The middle ground, it seems, is something that the Iranian officials are suggesting, is that what if we enrich uranium inside Iran, but we don't do it. Like, so some Arab countries, so the Arab monarchies, countries that Trump is now being buddies with, what if they we create a coalition and they do it inside of Iran? And that way the Iranian regime, the key thing for the Iranian regime is so that it could go and tell its base, its supporters in Iran, that we won. And they need to somehow convince Trump to allow them to do a tiny little bit of enrichment of uranium inside Iran. Just a tiny bit. Because even if they just do a tiny bit, then that would mean that they can save face, and basically they will go act to their supporters, to their followers, that we didn't lose. That's the key thing that the Iranian regime wants. They want to be able to save face to its remaining supporters in Iran, so that they do not turn against the Iranian regime. That's the key point here, okay? Guys, nobody is going to explain these things to you the way I am on this channel. So please make sure you like the stream, because it's not all the, foreign policy is a reflection of domestic policy. So a lot of people are covering what the Iranian regime is doing with regards to foreign policy. I'm actually letting you know why they're doing it, why this is a reflection of what's happening internally within it, because I understand Iranian politics internally better than anybody else that you listen to, right? So, and another key point that you need to pay attention to is what are they going to do with the 60% enrichment uranium that they have already done, because they have to basically get rid of that, send it somewhere else, right? Another thing to pay attention to is that the Iranian regime wants sanctions removed for doing all of this. And if that happens, that would be a disaster. Like, that would be, if that happens, basically Trump has given the Iranian regime more than what any Democrat has ever had. Right? Jewish Samantha in chat is saying no enriching uranium in Iran till Iran is free. Perfectly said. Fantastic. Great comment. And also, another thing to pay attention to is how much the Iranian regime's missile program and support for the terrorists in the region, is that completely off the table, or is that part of the discussion right now? So again, the key thing to pay attention to is whether the deal will allow the Iranian regime to have some enrichment uranium inside Iran or not. But two other things to pay attention to is whether sanction removal is part of the deal, and also, are we completely forgetting about limiting the Iranian regime's missile program and its support for the terrorists in the region? If the worst situation would be, I'll let you know what the worst situation would be. The worst situation would be for Trump to allow the Iranian regime to enrich uranium inside Iran. That would make the Iranian regime be able to save face to its supporters and basically last a lot longer than we want. And in return, if the Trump administration allows some sanction removal and also completely does not make the reduction in the missile program, the range of the missiles, reduction in that, and also put no conditions for supporting terrorists in the region, no conditions, no limitations of that. If we see anything like that, that means that this was the worst possible deal, and that means basically Trump has completely forgotten and has completely forgotten about Israel. Basically, Israel is a non-issue. Support for Israel is not at all in Trump's agenda, if we see a deal like that, right? However, Trump is acting right now like the mullahs have bent the knee, that they have surrendered. But we have to see if Trump is exaggerating or not, okay? And also, Trump shared a post from Shamkhani. I don't know if you guys know Shamkhani, who Shamkhani is. He's a very senior, very high-ranking senior Iranian security official. He was the national security chief, and he's a direct advisor of Khamenei. So when he's saying something, a lot of people say that that's a reflection of what Khamenei is saying. So he posted something, and Trump reposted Shamkhani. Guys, like when it comes to people behind the scenes, like if you believe in deep state stuff in Iran, the deep state is Ali Shamkhani, like the rich people behind the scene who people consider to be the actual difference maker, the actual leader. I don't know exactly how true this is, because I don't know if this is a conspiracy theory or not. But the guy is it's true that he is Khamenei's advisor, and he's also the one who's financially has benefited a lot from the sanctions, and he basically controls a lot of economic power. And some people suggest that these are the actual rulers of the people behind the scenes, the puppet masters. So Shamkhani is a key person to pay attention to. So and Trump posted, and I will show you that on screen, that Trump posted something from Shamkhani as proof that the Iranian regime has basically bent the knee. It was a clip, it was a quote from Shamkhani, who said that Iran, meaning the Iranian regime, is willing to lower its enrichment uranium levels and doesn't want to build a bomb if all sanctions are removed immediately. That's a worrying thing for Trump to post, because Trump is like, look, they surrendered. But the surrender message that Trump is posting is Shamkhani saying that we are going to lower our enrichment of uranium. Trump is kind of like pretending like this is what the issue was. But if the Americans were basically, if they were going to be happy with just reducing of the enrichment of uranium, this would have been done a long time ago. Like, I think Trump is betting on Americans having the memory of a goldfish, because he's actually like, oh, look, they are accepting the reduction of enrichment of uranium. Huh? That's not, like, that means they surrendered. What are you talking about? This is not surrender. This is what they were fighting for. The surrender is no enrichment of uranium. And also, you're posting something from Shamkhani saying that only in response to removal of sanctions. Removal of sanctions shouldn't even be on the table. How is that a surrender? Amir is laughing in the chat. Okay. And I don't know, how is that, like, I don't know, is he being played? I think Trump might be realizing that they're not going to budge, and and whatever the Iranian regime gives, he's going to try to pretend that that's a win. That's the direction we're heading at. Okay, so I will show you what Emily Schrader was saying, Mike Pence is saying. Again, I don't like Mike Pence, but honestly, his position on the Iranian regime might be better right now. So actually, let me start showing you some of the opinions that I want to share with you guys. Let me see. We have, okay, again, Wolf, thank you again for gifting a membership to people in the chat. I appreciate that. Guys, again, please make sure you like the stream. I need more people. Because a lot of people will not understand these details, and we need to put maximum pressure, like you, me, everybody else on social media. We need to put more pressure on the Trump administration and everyone else that this is abandoning Israel. If we go this direction, this is going to prolong the lifespan of the Iranian regime. This is worse than, this is basically another version of the Obama deal. Let me tell you how Trump is going to convince people that this is not the Obama deal if the deal goes through with the enrichment uranium in Iran still happening. First of all, he's going to mention that the sunset clause on the deal is going to be 100 years or basically forever. And that's not the JCPOA that Obama signed with the Iranian regime, had a temporary sunset clause, but his is going to be forever or 100 years. So he's going to sell that as a reason for, this is so much harsher. This is so much worse than for the Iranian regime than what Obama did. That was the worst deal in the world. This is the best deal in the world. That's what he's going to do. That's what's going to be one of the things. But he's going to, if he doesn't manage to somehow include the condition of reducing the range of Iranian missiles on the and that deal, that would be embarrassing, because he also criticized the JCPOA for not having that as part of the deal, and also basically nothing about reduction for support for terrorists in the region. Anyways, let's go to what Emily is saying. Emily Schrader, friend of the show, previous guest. Oh yeah, actually, that's a good point. The Jewish, something, long name. Somebody in the chat is also saying, who will monitor the agreement? Okay, so if Americans are involved in monitoring who the enrichment inside Iran, then Trump is also going to sell that as why this is better than the JCPOA. Okay, and I'm not going to buy it. The main thing, the main factor that makes this better than the JCPOA would be no enrichment of uranium in Iran. That would be the main factor. If we don't get that, I'm going to call it Obama deal 2.0. That's what I'm going to call it. And I'm going to also call it, and also if there's no conditions for supporting supporting the terrorists, and also reducing of the missiles range, I'm going to call it a betrayal to Israel, basically abandoning and betraying our US's main ally in the region, basically abandoning Israel, going in the direction of the Saudis, Emiratis, and the Qataris. And okay, so see, Emily Schrader agrees with me on this, because look, it's sort of a deal. So Emily Schrader is pointing to what Trump said. He said sort of an agreement isn't an agreement, Emily is saying, which is on point. Let me actually play that for you. Guys, go follow Emily wherever she's doing anything.
Iran has sort of agreed to the terms. They're not going to make, I call it in a friendly way, nuclear dust. We're not going to be making any nuclear dust in Iran. And we've been strong. I want them to succeed. I want them to end up being a great country. And I think we're getting close to maybe doing a deal without having to do this. There's two steps. There's a very, very nice step, and there's a violent step. Iran.
All right, let's look at what they're sort of agreed to a deal. I mean, this is what Trump posted on his own account of Shamkhani. So, top Iranian official says Tehran will forego highly enriched uranium. The comments from a member of the Supreme Leader's inner circle appear to be the clearest public statement yet on Iran's willingness to reach an agreement. Okay, Shamkhani said they're going to reduce it to under 5%, 3.7%. How is that agreement? This is the sort of agreement that's. I mean, they would be so happy if that's all. If that's a win for them. How is that bending the knee? Honestly, I think Trump is bending the knee. Trump is submitting. This is the art of the fold. If this is what you think it's an agreement, agreeing to your terms, you're folding. It's not the art of the deal. It's the art of the fold. So Reza Behruz here saying, God only knows what is happening in Donald Trump's head. I guess he's constantly playing 4D chess in his head. No, it's not 4D chess. It's 4D chess underwater, upside down, with your eyes closed. That's what it is. And I think this is so. I mean, this is on a different level. Okay, if this is winning, then it's winning. It must be 5D chess. It cannot be 4D chess. Yes, 4D chess underwater. Exactly. All right, let's go back to Emily. Let's hear what Emily here is saying. The Islamic regime in Iran has launched a PR push claiming that they are willing to make a deal with the US. The deal they're open to, eerily similar to JCPOA. You know what? This is fantastic. Emily is a voice of reason. I hope this. Let me actually heart this and repost this. Fantastic, Emily, saying there is no deal and they aren't close, and they aren't close to one either. Here's why. Okay, let's listen to Emily. Okay, let's listen to Emily. Guys, make sure you follow Emily. She's a voice of
I've seen a lot of headlines about the Islamic regime in Iran suddenly being open to a nuclear deal. So let me break down what they're actually offering and explain why it's nonsense. First and foremost, the regime is trying to buy time. As predicted, their offer for compromise with the US in nuclear talks isn't a serious offer. They're stating clearly that they'll only agree to stop highly enriched uranium and want the terms of the JCPOA. So basically, they want to enrich uranium at civilian levels and will allow inspections, supposedly. But this is the exact same agreement that they violated before. And let's not forget that a new hidden nuclear site was revealed just days ago. The regime is negotiating in bad faith, and they know it. Does President Trump? Second, the head of Iran's Atomic Energy Agency stated this week that dismantling all enriched uranium is not possible, and they refuse to use a third country for a civilian program. So this means the regime maintains centrifuge research and development capabilities and can use that enriched uranium to break out with a nuclear weapon in a number of weeks if they wanted. Third, the regime has at best discussed removing some of the enriched uranium in stages, which again is them buying time. Furthermore, the regime wants full sanction relief, but this isn't possible because not all sanctions are related to nuclear violations. Many of them are human rights or terrorism related, and these should not be lifted. In summary, the report that the regime is willing to compromise and make a deal is nonsense. The regime cannot be trusted with any uranium enrichment, or frankly, with anything else. The media needs to stop misrepresenting this as some sort of plausible offer. It's not.
Okay, that was fantastic. That was to the point, fantastic. I'll go look at what Mike Pence is saying here, even though I don't like him. But before I do that, let me guys tell you, after this show, like within 68 minutes from now, I'm gonna have another show regarding the history of Islam and why Muhammad is not the person who started Islam. It was two other people. It was not Muhammad. Muhammad is not the founder of Islam. I will show you the two people who actually made Islam, the actual true history of Islam, not the one that Muslims tell you. Okay, so it's for members only. The link is in the description, and the link is now also in the chat. So it's after this show in 68 minutes. It's no, it's not this link. I got the link wrong. Hold on. Yeah, no, the link is right. The name is wrong. So the name is Islam was not invented by two men. Islam was invented by these two men, not Muhammad. So let me actually fix the name and also make sure that here, let me put the link here one more time. Sorry about that. Let me see if the link is working. Yeah, the link is correct. Okay, the link was correct. The name was correct. Okay, second part of the show, Islam was invented by these two men, not Muhammad. Okay, and the link is also in the description. And let me change the name change. Okay, so let's go to what Mike Pence is saying. Okay, so Mike Pence is saying there must be. Is that a mistype? Yeah, that's a mistype. There must be. I think it means there must be. There must be no Iran nuclear deal that allows the Iranians to enrich uranium at any level. Okay, guys, I do not like Mike Pence, but he is correct here. He's saying Iran is the leading state sponsor of terrorism in the world for America's security, for Israel's security, and for a lasting peace. Iran's nuclear program must be dismantled or destroyed. Yeah, and unfortunately, if Mike Pence is saying that, maybe Trump is going to be more encouraged to go to the other way. Yeah, so again, everybody is referring to Shamkhani because Shamkhani is a really big deal. This is a NBC News posted this. Top Iranian official, basically meaning Shamkhani, says Tehran would forego highly enriched uranium in a nuclear deal with Trump. Why is everybody acting like this is a big deal? Tehran would forego highly enriched uranium. So everybody was waiting to see if we're going to completely dismantle the enrichment of uranium. And now everybody is acting like, oh my God, they're going to do it under 5%. That's amazing. That is a breakthrough. That is such a win. What are you talking about? We were all waiting to see if it's going to be complete dismantlement or just under 5%. And people are like, oh my God, they bent the knee, they've surrendered. It's under 5%. This is not surrender. This is them winning. You know how much they're going to go brag to their own followers that we won. They wanted to completely dismantle it, and all the world powers came together and they tried to force the Iranian regime to get rid of the enrichment of uranium. But look how powerful we are. The whole world could not take this away from us, and we're still enriching uranium. We are more powerful than the United States. Them with all their power, they thought that they're winning. They thought, oh, you're so weak. We got rid of Hezbollah, Hamas. We defeated the Houthis, and now we have you surrendered with our B2s, with our THAAD, with our Patriot, with our air carriers, and we are so powerful that you have to submit to everything. And with all of that, they didn't get rid of our, that's what they're going to say. They're going to say that they didn't manage to get rid of our enrichment of uranium. That shows that they're not as powerful as they say. They say they're going to go to their followers, and they're going to say this shows that this was all just bluffing, that United States is not as powerful as everybody claims to be. They said that they went to the world and said that they have defeated us. But look at us now. Look at us now. Look, that we managed to keep this. They didn't take it away from us because we're the powerful ones. This was all just bluffing. That's what they're going to say. This is so infuriating. And again, the reason why I'm going to say that what they say to their supporters is so important. Because that's the only way this regime will fall. I mean, that's the main way that the highest chances for this regime to fall is for their last remaining supporters to lose hope in the regime. If you give them a way to save face, you have expanded their lifespan. They're going to be able to stay in power for much longer. The best way for right now to topple the Iranian regime is to get the last remaining, I don't know, I think 6% of supporters that they have to abandon their support. And you do that by humiliating the regime. And Americans, Trump is being so ungrateful to Israel because Israel has done 90% of the job for the United States. Israel has defanged the Iranian regime. And the Trump administration doesn't even have to enter war with the Iranian regime. It just needs to insist on wanting the maximum out of this deal. And getting the maximum, like the Israelis have given their lives to defang the Islamic Republic, and they handed it now to United States, and United States just needs to not help them. It doesn't even have to hurt them. It just needs to not help them. And by getting a very humiliating deal from the Iranian regime, you will get so much division within the Iranian regime that it will bring about their downfall much faster. That's how it works. I know how this is how this works because I follow the politics of the Islamic Republic on a daily basis of what's happening between them. I know this is how you bring about the toppling of the Iranian regime. You don't even need to attack them militarily. You just shouldn't hand them a lifeline. That's all you need to do right now. Oh, we got a super chat? Thank you. Thank you, Ami, for reminding me that we got super chat. That Jewish ex-spy analyst in the chat, that's a very big username. Thank you, saying, is Trump gambling that IRGC will collapse soon? Trump is not okay, this is my understanding. Let me know if you agree or not. This is what I guess. Trump doesn't really give a shit. Trump just wants to show two things: that I do big deals and I bring about peace. Okay? The idea of like, would this make the Iranian regime collapse, not collapse? Will this have the long-term ramifications of these things? I don't think Trump gives a shit about any of this. Trump cares about, okay, three things, okay? Moving a lot of money. Okay, actually, that's the same thing as me. Signing giant deals that makes him look good, and also bragging about that I'm a peacemaker, that I bring peace. Give me the Nobel Peace Prize, please. These are the two things in his agenda, in my opinion. What do you guys think? Oh, what happened here? Oh, no, that's good. Let me know if you think that that's a correct analysis. Anyways, let's continue. Oh, look, this is exactly, guys, again, if Trump wanted to talk to negotiate with Iranian people, they need to be talking to Reza Pahlavi. See, there are a lot of people everywhere always telling Trump, like, this is the guy you need to talk to. This is the guy you need to talk to. Reza Pahlavi, not the Iranian regime. This is the actual representative of the Iranian people. So let's hear. I've been following this lady because her takes are quite interesting to me. This lady is called Sarah for Trump, and she has an American flag and an Israeli flag, and she's a Christian patriot, Israel supporter, Trumpist, anti-woke. I follow her because she's a Trumpist, but she seems to be annoyed and with Trump recently. Oh, and look at what she's saying. Exactly what I said before, just a second ago, right? Sarah is saying, if power goes back to the Pahlavi family, Iran would easily outpace Saudi Arabia and all the Arab countries in just a few decades. Thanks to, and guys, she's not even Iranian and she's saying all of this. That's pretty cool. Thanks to its endless wealth, better geography and climate, and people who aren't into Islamism. It could become a more reliable partner for us and Israel, which would be bad for the Arabs. So I guess Saudi Arabia is secretly backing the survival of the Ayatollah regime. Well, I mean, the reason why they are doing that, Saudi Arabia is doing that, is not because necessarily they want the Ayatollah regime to survive. It's just that they don't want war in this region. The Saudis, for their Vision 2030, they think they're going to be sitting ducks if there's war here, because they think like, yeah, sure, the American bases will be able to defend themselves if there's war in this region, and the Israelis will be able to defend themselves. But us, the Emiratis and the Saudis, they're going to be sitting ducks in front of the Iranian regime's missiles. And I just really like the fact that she posted Reza Pahlavi's picture and saying this is the guy that Trump needs to be talking to, not this. I mean, you know what? This deserves a repost. Actually, this is good. Even though I probably don't see eye to eye with her on many things, this done. I mean, these are people for Trump who are saying like, this is not the way. This is not the way. Right? So also, let me show you this video talking about the Pahlavi. So guys, for people who are new here, Reza Pahlavi is the son of the former king of Iran, Mohammad Reza Shah, or Mohammad Reza Pahlavi. And let me just tell you, let me show you this video, because this video shows back in the day, the king of the Middle East, the king of kings in the Middle East was Mohammad Reza Shah, and Iran was the main source of economic activity, technology, education, advancements, and everything. And back then, the Saudis would come and bend the knee to the king in Iran and show their respect as the main source of power in the region. That was before the Islamic Revolution of 1979, where everything went to shit after that. Let me actually show you this. These are the Saudis back then. Hold on. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. صاحب الجلالة صاحب شکوه و جلال شاه شاهان آریا مهر بزرگ. So in saying, so this is the Saudi king in front of the Iranian king back then before the Islamic Revolution, saying the owner of shakuh. How do you say shakuh? So let me actually have a dictionary here right next to me. So صاحب شکوه و جلال شاه شاهان آریا مهر بزرگ. So the owner of glory and majesty, the king of kings, Arya Mehr the Great. This is he's saying this to the king of Iran, Mohammad Reza Shah, which is the father of Reza Pahlavi, today the crown prince, which we want back in Iran to bring back the Pahlavi. That he's saying this. He's saying that to him. This is Mohammad Reza Shah, the father of Reza Pahlavi. Oh my God, this has Game of Thrones music behind it, which is going to give me a copyright strike. So I'm not going to play that, so I don't get a copyright strike. But then let me continue saying, به ما اجازه بدهید به مناسبت این فرصت خوب و مبارکی که داریم به شما خوش آمد بگویم. Like, please allow me to welcome you, use this opportunity, this grand and great, this blessed opportunity to welcome you. So let's continue. Again, because it has Game of Thrones music, I wish they wouldn't put these music on so I could play it. And then said به خاطر بزرگی چون شما خوش آمد بگویم از طرف ملت و مملکت عربی و سعودی. Like, because of your greatness, I welcome you on behalf of the nations and the nation of Arabs and the Saudis. This is back then when Iran was great. Make Iran great again. میگا این فرصت بسیار مبارک و خوبی است که به ما دست داده. This is a great opportunity for us to be able to welcome you, basically. Anyways, he keeps on going for a while, just constantly saying, this is an honor for us that you have come here to basically see our countries. Guys, back then, the Saudis, the Emiratis, the Qataris, they were just nothing there. There was nothing there. And Iran was growing on such a rapid pace that it was like a miracle. The Iranian economy was blowing up. Everything was modernizing. The United States needed the Iranian spending on its military to be able to survive. There were military industries within the United States that didn't go bankrupt because of Iranian money. That's how rich they were. There were university after university was being built. Everything was improving. Women's rights, the reason why we even have women life freedom and Iranian women are not submitting like the other women in the region is because Mohammad Reza Shah basically empowered Iranian women. Mohammad Reza Shah is the greatest defender of women rights in the history, more than any other woman. Because the reason why you see the Iranian women are so fierce and so powerful and refuse to bend the knee to Islam is because of Mohammad Reza Shah, because he was the one who empowered the woman. And if the Islamic, like, you see all this glory and all this, all of these towers and all of these industry in Saudi Arabia and the UAE and the Qatar, if the Islamic Revolution didn't happen, this would have been in Iran 10 times that. It would have been the center. First of all, we wouldn't have this much war in the Middle East. Iran was the source of stability of the Middle East, and it would have been continued to do so. And the centers of economic power and education would have been right now in the Middle East in Iran if the Islamic Revolution didn't happen. This is why Marxism and Islamism together united, and Iran is the greatest lost opportunity in the history of mankind. I challenge anybody to come and tell me otherwise. And this is the Saudis back then. So من اسم این اتفاق بزرگ رو انتقال از وطنی به وطن دیگه. Okay, so he's basically constantly just saying that this is a great momentous event that you just came here, you blessed us with your visit, and just goes on. Just keeps on going on and basically saying how great he is. And he just, let me see if it goes to Mohammad Reza Shah. Oh yeah, that's him. He's just sitting there and just taking it all in. Yeah. It's basically Islam destroyed Iran. Islam, again, this is why on this channel we keep warning the West and warn them about the unity between leftism and Islamism took away our country. We lost the country to a unity of Islamism and leftism. And we are warning the West not to let this happen to them as well, because we Iranians know that this is possible. We lost a superpower, a prosperous country, because of the unity of Islam and leftism. And you have to take the Iranians seriously when it comes to look at what's happening in Europe and take the Iranians' warning seriously. These are two dangerous ideologies that when they come together, they become the most destructive power on earth. Again, even separately, they're dangerous. But when they come together, because the Islamic Revolution of 1979 was not an Islamic revolution. It was a Marxist Islamic revolution. Together, they united over this. Anyways. Anyways, I'm gonna keep this live stream short because I want to make sure more people see this, because I think a lot of people don't understand what's happening, and I want you guys. I'm gonna keep it under 1 hour, so you guys share it with people. Go ahead and share this stream with people, because the key to all our problems in the Middle East is supporting Reza Pahlavi, the current crown prince of the previous king of Iran, abandoning talking to the Iranian regime, or basically putting maximum pressure, maximum support for Israeli people, maximum support for Iranian people, and maximum pressure against the Islamic Republic. And again, I'm going to do a show showing how so many people in America are now turning against Israel, and I'm going to show their arguments, and I'm going to show you how wrong they are. Saudi Arabia is not your ally. You're a proper ally. Neither is the UAE, neither is Qatar. Israel is. Israel is. Do not abandon Israel. Israel has, a lot of people think Israel is taking so much from America. It's the other way around. Israel is paying in blood, killing the enemies of America. I'm going to make that argument in another stream. And basically answering all these people like, I don't know, Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, because a lot of this anti-Israeli narrative right now is actually now in the United States is coming from the right. The left and the right are uniting over their anti-Israeli narratives in the United States, and this is very dangerous. Anyways, let me actually, we got another super chat, but before I read that, let me just advertise this show that is coming. So you can see, if you go to Atheist Republic right now, and if you go to the live section, this is a show that we're doing right now. And this is a member-only stream that I'm going to be doing in how many minutes? In 44 minutes, I'm going to be doing that stream, which says Islam it was invented by these two men, not Muhammad. Okay? So in 44 minutes, I'm going to start that show. So if you are interested in knowing the actual real reason, the real history of Islam, because this, guys, this is the Achilles heel of Islam. If you understand that, there is no more Islam. Okay, so this is members only. So if you're a member, please come there and watch this show. It's going to be very valuable. And again, I'm going to explain it in a way that is, because I see a lot of academics explain this in different places, and they make it hard for common people to understand, for people who haven't been following this academically, what the hell is going on. I will explain it in a very simple, easy to understand way, so you guys, we're all on the same page. And by the way, FLP just gifted 5 memberships, so people who are now, you guys could, the people who just got membership, make sure you come and what. Thank you, FLP. That's very generous. Thank you so much. So if you just got gifted a membership, don't miss this show. Thank you, FLP. And also, if you're not a member, consider becoming a member, because that's the best way to support the show, other than super chats, which we also got one. Sabine is saying, Armin, do you think that maybe the Saudis don't want Iran to become great again, and that's why Trump is not highlighting Reza Pahlavi? I don't. These are some conspiracy theories that a lot of people say, that the Saudis want Iran to remain weak. I don't see any evidence for that. I don't think, because a strong Iran would not be bad for the Saudis. It will. There will be a lot of trade between a strong Iran and a strong Saudi Arabia. Iran will basically bring a lot of tourists to Saudi Arabia. There will be a lot of cross investments. A lot of Saudis, Iran is such an amazing place for investments, and Saudis will basically be able to take advantage of all of a sudden Iran opening up and basically put it, because Saudis are trying to find places to invest their money in, and if Iran opens up, that would be a great place for investments. The reason why Saudis are not pushing for a toppling of the regime or talking to Reza Pahlavi or stuff like that is because, not because of that outcome, is because they're afraid of what happens in the middle, because that would be basically rebuilding Iran under a regime that is not the Islamic Republic, a government that is not the Islamic Republic. That sounds all great, but they're saying, well, that's going to take too long. If the regime falls, or if there's if there's war in the region, if United States or Israel starts attacking the Iranian regime, in the meantime, we are the ones who are going to be basically paying the highest price in 2 ways. First of all, the Iranian regime, because it would not be able to do much damage to Israel or United States bases in that region, they might punish the United States by just attacking its allies. Like, well, they wouldn't attack Qatar, but they will probably might consider attack the UAE and Saudi Arabia, and they're sitting ducks, and they're like, yeah, okay, that's basically the Iranian regime has managed to scare the Saudis into lobbying United States into not doing maximum pressure on the Iranian regime by scaring them that you are the ones we're going to go after if something like that happens. And the Iranian regime has been successful in basically scaring in Saudi Arabia into lobbying United States into maybe do appeasement with the Iranian regime. That's the main reason why they're doing this, because they're afraid of the consequences. And also, even if the Iranian regime doesn't attack Saudi Arabia or the UAE, any war around that region basically scares investment away from that region, and the Saudis desperately need for money to come into that region for their Vision 2030 to actually be successful. Even if the Iranian regime doesn't attack Saudi Arabia, investors, if missiles are being thrown around that region, that's basically the best way to scare money away from that region, right? And they cannot have that. That's why the Saudis are kind of upset right now with Israel, because at first they were happy, they were secretly clapping for Netanyahu behind the scenes, because like, we hate Hamas and Netanyahu is going to end Hamas now after October 7th. But because it took so long and it's just constant war over like continuous war, they're like, okay, they did, like, this is going on for too long, so they're basically getting frustrated right now because they want the wars to stop so investments could come in. And by the way, guys, this also shows that the Saudi Arabian lobby is so much more powerful than AIPAC. Okay, because they can move a lot more money. All right, guys. That was, you know what? I'm really happy with the content of the show. I think I gave you a lot of nuance. Oh, and also thank you so much for that super chat. That was very, I really appreciated that. Guys, the level of nuance you get on this channel is like unlike anywhere else. Like I'll tell you, I know it because I watch other shows. Okay, the nuance that you get on this channel is on a different freaking level. So this channel deserves to grow. Like, subscribe, hit the bell notification, leave a comment, and all of that. Maximum support for this channel with all of these things. Amir saying, oh, Atheist Republic, the best channel for Middle East geopolitics and religion analysis. Thank you, Amir. I love hearing that from you, guys. Guys, please, maximum support for this channel, okay? Even if you don't want to do financial support like being a member or super chats, at least you could like, subscribe, hit the bell notification, leave a comment, and also recommend this channel to other people, because none of that will cost you anything. But like, at least like, don't go away without liking, okay? Anyways, I'm going to go get ready for the next show, which is a member-only show, because that encourages we're getting more members, so we get support for it. Long live Atheist Republic. Thank you, I appreciate that. All right, guys, I'm going to go get ready. Thank you so much. Mwah. See you soon.